जलज्येष्ठनिभाकारं जगदीशपदाश्रयं जगतीतलविख्यातं जगन्नाथ गुरुं भजे।
गुरुभ्यो हरि ओम्। श्रीमन् लक्ष्मी नृसिंहस्य श्यं दशतमेनकः सुभक्ताभीष्टदानाय समुपात्तदशाकृतेः वेङ्कटाद्रिसंस्थानां ब्रह्माण्डिनास्ति किञ्चन वेङ्कटेशतमो देवो न भूतो न भविष्यति। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वारणयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामधूतं शिरसा नमामि। अप्रभं बलरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थम् अतुलं भजे तापत्रयापहम्। अर्तिकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यर्ति गजकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरोर्भूयात् तस्मदिष्टार्थसिद्धये। भक्तानां मानसां भोजाभानवे कामधेनवे नमतां कल्पतरुवे जयेन्द्रगुरुवे नमः। कुशाग्रमतये भानुद्दितये वारिभीतये आराधितश्रीपतये सुधीन्द्रहितये नमः। दुर्वारिद्वान्तर्वये वैष्णविन्दे वरन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमो अत्यन्तदयाळवे। वन्दारजनसन्दोह मन्दारतरुसन्निभं वृन्दारकगुरुप्रख्यं वन्दे वालीन्द्रदेशिकं। वादे विजयशीलाय वरदावरार्तिना वदन्नजनसिंहाय वरदेन्द्राय ते नमः। धरणीमण्डले ख्याते धैर्यादिगुणब्रह्मितं विकृताशेषवारीभं धीरसिंहगुरुं भजे। सुधीजनसुमन्दारं सुधीन्द्रसतसुप्रियं सुशमीन्द्रगुरुं वन्दे सुजयीन्द्रकरोद्भवम्। मन्मनोऽभीष्टवरदं सर्वाभीष्टफलप्रदं पुरन्दरगुरुं वन्दे दासश्रेष्ठं दयानिधिम्। अज्ञानतिमिरच्छेदं बुद्धिसम्पत्प्रदायकं विज्ञानविमलं शान्तं विजयाख्यगुरुं भजे। भूपालपादाब्जं पापालिपरिहारिणं गोपालदासमीडेहं गोपालहरिदर्शनं जलज्येष्ठनिभाकारं जगदीश्वरपदाश्रयं जगतीतलविख्यात जगन्नाथगुरुं भजे। श्रीगुरुभ्यो हरि ओम्। First of all, I would like to present my Shirasastanga Namaskara at the lotus feet of Sri Subodhendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru of Sri Mantralaya Raghavendra Swami Mata. Sajjanare, as we all know, there are two phases to the Bhakti Marga. One is Vyasa Sahitya, the other one is Dasa Sahitya. When it comes to Vyasa Sahitya, Srimananda Tirtha Bhagavad Padacharyaru himself led from front and created Saromula Grantagalu and propagated Harisarvotmatva, Vajivotmatva. A lot of secrets and tough subjects hidden in Vedas and Brahmasutragalu were commented about, were written for common people like us. Later on, Srimad Padmanabha Tirtharu and his parampara, and then Srimad Jaitirtharu, then Sri Vyasarajaru wrote Vyasatrayagalu, and then Sri Vajirajaru himself, Sri Vijendra Tirtharu, and then Sri Raghavendra Swami Garu. They all continued this Vyasa Sahitya to make the life of we common people go towards Mukti Marga, and that is for Sajjana Uddhara. The other facet of this Bhakti Marga is Dasa Sahitya. Again, even there, Srimananda Tirtha Bhagavad Padacharya himself led from front by composing stotra like Dvadasha Stotra, and then it was taken over by Sri Narahari Tirtharu, and then later on in the 14th and 15th century, Sri Sripadarajaru himself gave it a new life by composing Devarnamagalu in Kannada, the local spoken language Kannada. Sripadarajaru used Ankita as Sri Rangavittala, and then the Vidya Shishya of Sripadarajaru is none other than the great Sri Vyasatirtharu. Sri Vyasarajaru himself wrote a lot of Vyasa Sahitya related Grantagalu, and then he also wrote a lot of Devaranamagalu in Kannada by using Ankita, that is pen name, as Sri Krishna. The direct Shishyaru of Sri Vyasarajaru were Sri Purandara Vitthala Dasaru, Kanaka Dasaru, Beluru Vaikuntha Dasaru, and Vajirajaru himself. It was in the golden empire of Vijayanagara kingdom when Sri Vyasarajaru flourished his Vaishnava Siddhanta, that is Harisarvottamatva, Vajivatvamatva. When Sri Vyasarajaru entered Vrindavana in the year 1529 and later in the year 1565, when the Rakasatangadi battle was about to start, Sri Purandara Dasaru also left his Deha. This way, lot of titans, lot of stars glittering in the sky of Dvaita Vedanta, they slowly disappeared, and we can mark it as the end of the first phase of Dasa Sahitya. However, as Sri Hari has in his Chitta, the second phase started after almost a century with the arrival of Sri Vijayavitthala Dasaru. Vijay Dasaru, as we all know, is an Amsha, an avatar of Mrugarishiguru, and Vijay Dasaru took birth in Chikalparavi and did a lot of Sajjana Uddhara, composed a lot of Devaranamagalu. Vijay Dasaru had a lot of direct Shishyaru, such as Gopala Dasaru, Jagannatha Dasaru, Vyasa Vitthala Dasaru, Vedugopala Vitthala Dasaru, that is Panganama Timmana Dasaru, and many more, Manohar Vitthala Dasaru, and many more. Among these direct Shishyaru, Sri Gopala Dasaru was always called as the Chalapratima of Sri Vijay Dasaru. The other pet and favorite Shishyaru of Sri Vijay Dasaru was none other than Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. Today, on the occasion of the Madhyaradhana of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, let us try to recall, let us try to chant, let us try to recollect some of the great works of this Mahaniya called Jagannatha Vitthala Dasaru. As Sri Vadindra Tirtharu, who is also called as Ubhayavamshapti Chandrama, Sri Vadindra Tirtharu, who is sitting very next to Sri Raghavendra Swami in Mantralaya, puts in his Guruguna Stavana, this Nyaya is called, this is Punaragati Snana Sankalpa Vatsa, wherein when we go to take bath in a sea, we always do Sankalpa. We take an oath by saying that we are going to take a bath in that ocean or sea water. However, if you actually look at it, you would not be able to take a bath by using the whole of the sea water. All that you will be able to do is, you will be able to consume only a fraction of the water, a few drops of water from that massive sea or ocean and take a bath in that. Similarly, when we try to praise, when we try to proclaim the greatness of Sri Raghavendra Swami, it is very difficult. It is because it is like an ocean. All that we can do is we can pick a few water droplets from there. So, as Sri Vadindra Tirtharu says, it is very difficult for us to claim that we are going to say out all the greatness, all the Mahimagalu of these Mahatma saints and Haridasaru. All that we can do is, Ita Shakti, we can try to recall some elements from their life story. So why should we do it? Sri Narayana Panditacharya in his Sumadvidya Mahakavya gives an answer to this. It is Manoshuddhai Charitanuvada. Why should I repeatedly chant? Why should I repeatedly talk, memorize the greatness of the works and life and history, life history of these great saints and Dasaru? It is because to purify our own manas, our souls, our heart, and get all the evil things out of it. So the n number of times we talk about it, the n number of times we listen to it, we get that much of punya. That is a marga, that is an avenue for punya sanchaya. So even today, when we try to talk about the greatness of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, it is just that we are trying to recall some of the key elements, some of the major contributions of this Aparuksha Jnanigadu. Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, who was known as Srinivasacharya, was born in the year 1727 in a small village called Vyagavati, which is very close to Manavi. a small town in Raichur district, which itself is very close to today's Mantralaya, where we have the Moola Vrindavana of Sri Raghavendra Guru Sarvabhauman. Sri Jagannatha Dasaru was born to Sri Narasimha Vittala Dasaru Dampatigalu. Sri Narasimha Vittala Dasaru was a direct Shishyaru of Sri Upendra Tirtharu of Sri Raghavendra Swamigala Matta, Mantralaya. Sri Upendra Tirtharu is the Guru of Sri Vagendra Tirtharu, who was famously known for composing Sri Guru Stavana, which praises the greatness of Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu and the greatness of the Grantagalu written by Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu. Today, if we say that we know something about the Grantagalu of Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu, it is also because of the narrations made by Sri Vagendra Tirtharu in his Guru Stavana. Having born to Sri Narasimha Vittala Dasaru, Srinivasacharyaru was a great Sudha Panditaru. However, as Sri Hari has in his Chitta, Srinivasacharyaru always had this discomfort and disagreement and disliking for Haridasa Sahitya, and he never respected Haridasaru, considering that they do not know the Deva Bhashe, which is Kirvana Bhashe, which is Samskrita. However, as Sri Hari has in his Chitta, he puts Sri Vijayadasaru to do the Uddhara of Sri Srinivasacharyaru. It so happens that Sri Vijayadasaru, along with his close Shishyaru such as Gopala Dasaru, Vyasavittala Dasaru, Vedugopala Vittala Dasaru, and other Shishyaru, the brothers of Gopala Vittala Dasaru, all these people would go to different villages, travel to different places to claim and to preach Harisarottamatva and Vajivattamatva and conduct Dasakotas and Bhajans. Similarly, once all these people, all these Gnanigalu would assemble in Marvi, which is the hometown of Srinivasacharyaru. And Sri Vijayadasaru himself voluntarily comes and invites Srinivasacharyaru for the next day's Haridasa Kota. However, with the predetermined mind that Srinivasacharyaru had, he half-heartedly accepts the invitation given by Vijayadasaru and somehow says that Sri Vijayadasaru goes away from there. On the next day, Sri Srinivasacharyaru deliberately stays back at home and he would not go to the place where the Dasakuta was happening. When Sri Vijayadasaru observes that, in spite of that getting very late in the afternoon and getting time for Tirtha Prasada Mahamangalarati, Sri Vijayadasaru says that Sri Srinivasacharyaru was not to be seen there in the vicinity. So that is when Sri Vijayadasaru would send one of his Shishyaru to fetch Sri Srinivasacharyaru right from his house. Sri Srinivasacharyaru, with the same negligence, would send a message to the Shishya of Vijayadasaru saying that Sri Srinivasacharyaru has already consumed that day's Tirtha Prasada, that is lunch, because Srinivasacharyaru would have suffered from stomach pain if he had remained on fast without taking food till late in the afternoon, say 2 p.m. By listening to this, the Shishya of Vijayadasaru would come back and narrate the story to Vijayadasaru, who himself knew everything even before the Shishya could tell him, because Sri Vijayadasaru was Aproksha Gnanigalu and a Trikala Gnanigalu. By listening to whatever the Shishya says, Sri Vijayadasaru would just laugh at it and say that, okay, if Srinivasacharyaru were to suffer from stomach pain because of staying on fast, let that so happen, let that be true. As we all know, Lord Sri Hari would forgive any of our mischiefs, misconduct that we do towards Lord Sri Hari himself, but he would never forget or never forgive any of insults that we do to his Bhaktaru, that is Antaranga Bhaktaru. When Srinivasacharyaru insults Vijayadasaru like this, Sri Hari puts Srinivasacharyaru through this test, this fire test, wherein the claim that Srinivasacharyaru made turns out true from that minute, which implies that Srinivasacharyaru started suffering from intense stomach pain from that minute itself. And it so happened that whatever medication that Srinivasacharyaru did, it just did not help him in getting that disease cured. Rather, the stomach pain got intense, it became so severe that it almost turned out to be Kshayaroga, which is tuberculosis. Obviously, suffering from this intense stomach pain, which turned into tuberculosis, Srinivasacharya found it very difficult to breathe and to do his daily routines and rituals, perform his rituals. That is when Srinivasacharya decides to go to the feet of Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu. Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu in Mantralaya would know everything, and in spite of Sri Srinivasacharya approaching his Vrindavana, keeps very silent for a few days. However, when Srinivasacharya becomes very depressed, Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu comes in the dreams, the Swapna of Srinivasacharya one day night, and tells him, "Oh Acharya, I cannot do anything. Neither me nor anyone else can help you at this minute, because the Sottama Droha that you have done is unpardonable. It cannot be forgiven by any one of us. The only person who can help you, who can bail you out of this dire straits, is none other than Sri Jagannatha Dasaru." Rayaru asks, directs Srinivasacharya to go to the golden feet of Sri Vijayadasaru. Rayaru also alerts Sri Srinivasacharya that Vijayadasaru was not in his hometown, that is Chikalaparvi, and has already made it to Tirupati to take the holy darshan of Lakshmi Venkateshwara. That is when, by listening to this, Sri Srinivasacharya challenges Raghavendra Swamigalu, like how a small boy would challenge his father, wherein Sri Srinivasacharya says, "Oh Sri Guru Sarvabhauma, the ocean of mercy, I am coming to you with a strong belief that you will relieve me out of this intense pain, and now you are asking me to go to Tirupati, which is far away from here, from Mantralayam. And you also know that I am suffering from this intense stomach pain and not even in a position to breathe. And now you are asking me to travel all the way to Mantralayam." One thing we have to recall here is that Srinivasacharya, because of his intense illness, was not in a position to walk also. So he was made to sleep in a pallaki, which was carried by his servants and brought to Mantralaya. And sleeping in a pallaki and going by walk to Tirupati, which was almost 500 to 600 kilometers by walk, is just unimaginable. That is when Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu and Sri Srinivasacharya also challenges Raghavendra Swamigalu, saying that, "Oh Sri Raghavendra Prabhu, if you can cure this disease, better you do it now, because I cannot bear the pain. Else, you please get me out of this deha and let me die, because I cannot suffer this intense pain." So that is what Sri Srinivasacharya tells Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu. Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu, knowing everything, because Sri Srinivasacharya is none other than the Punar Avatara of Sahlada, who was the younger brother of Sri Raghavendra Swamigalu in his previous incarnation as Bhakta Prahlada. So Rayaru tells him, "Oh my dear brother, oh Acharya, don't worry, nothing will happen to you. You travel, you start traveling towards Tirupati now, nothing would happen to you. I am giving the assurance. Lord Sri is there behind you, nothing will happen to your life. You will reach there very safely. Don't ever even think of dying, because you have a lot of great work to be done. You have a lot of contributions to be making for this great Madhvamata." So that is where, with this assurance from Raghavendra Swamigalu, Srinivasacharya travels towards Tirupati, reach Tirupati, and he would go to the lotus feet of Vijayadasaru and begs a pardon. He would ask for a kshama, saying that, "Oh, great Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, I knowingly or unknowingly I did this mistake of insulting you. Please forgive me and do my uddhara." That is when Maha Karunanidhi, Karuna Samudra Sri Jagannatha Dasaru would forgive Srinivasacharya, console him, and then direct Sri Srinivasacharya, pass an order to Srinivasacharya to go back to Uttanuru. Uttanuru is a small village which is very close to Mantralaya. 50 kilometers from Mantralaya, we have a place called IG. From IG, 25 kilometers is Gadwara Samsthana, and from IG, Modalakallu, the Karyakshetra of Sri Modalakallu Sheshadasaru, that is Guru Vijayadasaru Dasaru, is very close to IG and Gadwal, and from IG, we travel 16 to 18 kilometers. We go to a place called Veni Sumupura, where we have the Mula Vrindavana of Vyasatapudna Tirtharu, who was a contemporary of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, who also has composed a lot of Devara Namagalu by using the Ankita called Vasudeva Vittala. Sri Vyasadeva also sat on the Mantralaya Raghavendra Swami Mata Pita. From IG, just 5 kilometers is this small place called Uttanuru. Uttanuru is the Karyakshetra of Sri Gopala Dasaru. With the blessings of Vijay Dasaru, Sri Srinivasacharya would travels back all the way to Uttanuru to come to the lotus feet of Sri Gopala Dasaru, who would know everything even before Srinivasacharya reaches Uttanuru. Sri Gopala Dasaru would know that Srinivasacharya has already met his Guru Vijay Dasaru and is coming back to Uttanuru. That is when Gopala Dasaru would receive Srinivasacharya, who comes to the mercy and shelter of Gopala Dasaru, and even before Srinivasacharya could narrate any story to him, Gopala Dasaru consoles him, says that he knows everything and Srinivasacharya need not have to worry about anything. And later on, Gopala Dasaru offers bakri, which is a roti made out of a sweet corn, which is very popular in North Karnataka, offers that to Srihari and gives that as the Srihari Nivedita Prasada to Srinivasacharya. That is when Srinivasacharya, with his eyes very wet, with tears in his eyes, would look at Gopala Dasaru and says, "Oh Dasare, I am not in a position to even breathe, not even in a position to drink water, and you are offering me this roti. Please have mercy on me." That is when Gopala Dasaru would console him and give him all assurance, saying that you don't have to worry, you can go ahead and eat this, nothing will happen to you. With that assurance, from that minute onwards, Srinivasacharya was taken care of by Sri Gopala Dasaru, and within few days, by eating the Harinivedita Prasada given by Gopala Dasaru, Srinivasacharya would regain his originality, both in, especially in terms of physical health. And that is when Sri Gopala Dasaru would donate 40 years from his lifespan. So that is when today we look back at the Kalavadi, at the duration for which Sri Gopala Dasaru lived. It is between 1722 and 1762, just 40 years. Just with the eyebrow signal given by his Guru Sri Vijay Dasaru, Sri Gopala Dasaru, without having a second thought, would give away 40 years from his life to Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, Srinivasacharya, who later on becomes Jagannatha Dasaru. So later, Sri Srinivasacharya would travel to Pandharapura to take the darshan, Holy Darshan of Panduranga Vittala, and that is when Acharya was taking bath in Chandrabhaga river. When he dips in the river, he gets a small stone slab on top of his head, and Acharya takes it in his hand to see that something is written on it. So what was written on it? It was nothing but Jagannatha Vittala. That is when Sri Srinivasacharya assumes the Ankita Jagannatha Vittala was given to him by Lord Srihari, and from then on he starts composing Devarnamagalu by using the Ankita as Jagannatha Vittala. However, as many of us know, the first song that Sri Srinivasacharya composed immediately after getting these blessings in Pandharapura is So, having gotten this pen name, that is Ankita, as Jagannatha Vittala, Sri Srinivasacharya becomes the world famous Jagannatha Vittala Dasaru, composes n number of Devarnamagalu, among which the famous composition, as we all know, is none other than Sri Harikatamrita Sara. Sri Harikatamrita Sara runs into 32 chapters, that is 32 sandhis. And Harikatamrita Sara is the essence, is the gist of all Vedagalu, Brahmasutragalu, and lot of such related Vyasa Sahitya is delivered to common men like us, common Bhaktaru, Sajjanaru, in the form of Kannada Padagalu, that is Sri Harikatamrita Sara. There is so much to talk about Harikatamrita Sara. By keeping in mind the time, we must know that Harikatamrita Sara is like a sopana to Moksha Marga, and we all know that a lot of people from other communities are also chanting Harikatamsara, especially in North Karnataka, especially the Raichur district, which itself is the hometown of Haridasaru. There, even people from Muslim community would chant Harikatamsara in their houses and huts and wherever they live. So, let us look at some of the contemporaries of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. As we all know, Sri Vijay Dasaru himself was a contemporary, Sri Gopala Dasaru, then Sri Vyasavithala Dasaru, Sri Ravithala Dasaru, Sri Shavithala Dasaru, lot of Manohara Vithala Dasaru, Vedugopala Vithala Dasaru, that is Panganama Timmada Dasaru, lot of such, Kallur Suparnacharya, Vyasavithala Dasaru, all these people were the contemporaries of Jagannatha Dasaru. One of the other major composition, other from Devarnamagalu of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, is the Parashruti that he wrote to the great Madhvanama written by Sri Sripada Rajaru, who is Lakshmi Narayana Tirtharu of Sri Sripada Rajamata. The other famous Shishya of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru is Diwan Purnaya, who was the then minister, the great minister of Mysore Kingdom. And even today, you can see in Manvi the Palaki and other offerings made by Diwan Purnaya to Jagannatha Dasaru. It is available for viewing even today in Manvi. We can see those. It is also said that because Jagannatha Dasaru was Amsha Prahlada, the younger brother of Bhakta Prahlada, he used to often come to Mantralaya to talk to Raghavendra Swami, who was Prahlada in his previous incarnation. He used to talk to Raghavendra Swami, who was sitting inside the Vrindavana, and he used to talk to Raghavendra Swami. So such a great Aparokshit Jnani was Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. As I said earlier, it is very difficult to narrate and talk about every aspect of the great life and story of these Aparokshit Jnani. Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, being a direct and very close Shishya of Sri Varadendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru of Mantralaya Raghavendra Swami Mata, was in close vicinity with Sri Varadendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru and wrote his Harikatamsara in the holy presence of Sri Varadendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru. The house that Sri Jagannatha Dasaru lived in Hosariti, where we have Mula Vrindavana of Sri Dhirendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru, can be seen even now. It is said that before relocating to Manvi, Sri Jagannatha Dasaru used to live in that house, which is very close to the river Varada. And on the banks of the river Varada, we have the Mula Vrindavana of Sri Dhirendra Tirtha Sripadangadaru, Sri Mantralaya Raghavendra Swami Mata. Having done this Hariseva and Uddhara of Sajjanaru, Sri Jagannatha Dasaru would leave his Deha in the year 1809. On this Bhadrapada Shukla Navami, Sri Jagannatha Dasaru would leave his Deha. The Kamba, the wooden pillar to which Sri Jagannatha Dasaru always rested its back and wrote Harikatamsara can be seen in Manvi even today. So the Kamba to which Sri Jagannatha Dasaru rested his back can be seen even today. And this is one rare picture of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru being carried in Palaki. And we see two people walking in front. The person with the sword walking is the king of Mysore, and the person in white dress is none other than Diwan Purnaya, who was a staunch devotee of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. So, having spoken about Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, I would like to say that it is, again, just recalling the words of Vadindra Tirtharu, it is very difficult for me or for anyone to completely narrate the story of Jagannatha Dasaru. All that we can do is we can read through a lot of granthas, especially Harikatamsara Sara, which will definitely place Sri Jagannatha Dasaru in turn Sri Muraramadevaru. It will please Lord Sri Hari if we read through, if we digest some part of this composition of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. So, with that, I would like to present all these Makusumas to the lotus feet of Sri Subhadendra Tirtha Sri Padangadaru, and I would request Sri Jagannatha Vithala Das Antargata, Srimad Vijay Vithala Das Antargata, Srimad Raghavendra Tirtha Antargata, Sri Bharatiramana Mukhya Prananthargata, Sitavati Munaramchandra Swami to bless all of us and give Jnana Bhakti Vairagya and help us, guide us in doing sadhana in this Deha and in this Janma. Krishna Arpanamastu. Hare Srinivasa.